On this Super Tuesday. Daryl Qualls from Andalusia Armory.
Tracy Schmidt.
Sean Carter.
This is Shop Talk.
Bum, bum, bum. So hope everybody got out and did some little voting today. Had a good time with it. The echo.
Yeah, that delay is going to take a little getting used to.
Yeah. I tell you what, if you want to talk to him for a second, I can get rid of that.
Okay. This is only our second show. Sorry for the little bit of a late start, but we're still trying to iron some things out. It can only get better from here, hopefully. Oh, when I'm talking about getting rid of that delay or that echo, it's what we hear in our headsets over here coming off the internet through, well, shoot, who knows how many miles that signal's bouncing around. Come down here. Oh, generally we'll talk a little politics,
There you go.
a little gunsmithing, a little ballistics, and what's new sometimes. Today being Super Tuesday, getting out and voting, helping your party choose who their front runner is going to be come the general election. It's an important day. And if you haven't already educated yourself about the candidates, now would be a good time to start before the general elections start.
Yeah, well, hopefully everybody's kind of did that just a little bit, maybe. That's a big part of, well, you know what? It's a big part of being an American is the voting process. And I guess,
well, as American citizens, we all have a duty to vote. Founding fathers and people today are still shedding blood so that we can go out and vote without fear of any repercussions.
yeah, like you're talking about, people still out shedding blood. It's all over. People being imprisoned and all kinds of nice stuff. You know, it's kind of hard to talk when we ain't sure what's going on right there, huh?
Yeah. We're still trying to smooth things out on the computer.
We got some major difficulties right now.
I just
I'm hoping that we're actually live somewhere right now.
That's what I was just going to say.
But, it looks like from here that we're not live on YouTube. We're not getting a live feed on our gun channels.
All right, so why don't we do this? If anybody's listening right now, what we're going to do is we're going to shut the feed down, and how about we just reopen another one, Sean?
Hang on, because
I'm getting something.
yes, okay. So let's see. We're still live here. We should be live on YouTube now. And I don't know what I did. I just refreshed I just pulled it over to our videos page.
Yeah.
And then pulled it back and it showed live instead of it being a dead link.
So maybe we're troubleshooting for other folks right now, right?
Maybe so.
I mean, our computer is almost from the Stone Age, that desktop we were using.
Yeah.
That is true.
I believe Cytel's probably using those, wouldn't they?
I was going to ask you if this was one of those that you remember when they let us buy some of them that time when they upgraded.
Yeah.
And I bought 2 or 3 of them, and I know several other people did. I was going to ask you if this was one of them, but then I noticed it wasn't a Dell. So
yeah.
But it's about the same age, I believe.
Yeah, we're gonna have to blame the cheap owner of the shop.
Well, no, I think we paid pretty good for that thing.
We did. We picked it out specifically. Well, that's just it. We picked it for business purposes, not
plus it was text.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We didn't know it was going to come in and it was going to be like 700 million years old and somebody just stuffed all kinds of stuff in there.
That too. Yeah.
So I guess the point of that is if you're buying a new computer for anything,
well, buy a new one, not a refurbished.
Yeah. Or if you get a refurbished one, make damn sure that you know what this thing looks like. Cause, it's been pretty good for the business. So we've been using it now for 3 years, 3.5 years.
Yeah,
Something like
well, and that's just it. When we were looking online for a refurbish, we were looking for something that would run the programs we needed for the business. We
Yeah.
weren't thinking about live streaming, video, audio, cutting video and audio in and out, and
Yeah.
mixing.
It would probably be a really good thing to upgrade to that, though, because you'd probably be able to use it. You know, if you got something like this right here, it's probably twice as powerful as that.
Oh yeah.
And you could probably use this with your road shows and stuff too. You probably, you know.
Yeah. Well, me and Tracy was talking about that. I think what we're probably going to do is get to a tower setup like what you was talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, another desktop. Yeah, they are a little more reliable.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's another thing. Some of us aren't used to talking into microphones. Daryl's the old pro here.
Yeah, I tend to move away from because I'm used to a mic on my. You know, I do a lot of this stuff. You know, over at Gun Channels, I do a lot of it, but I'm always attached to my microphone. It's not. I don't have to.
Tracy's kind of used to that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because you use a headset a lot. So,
yeah, I do, and yeah, we're using our band's equipment for audio. It works out nice after 30 minutes of setup before we start.
Oh yeah. And we're gonna be working on a straight studio for this stuff too. So
we might have video one day.
Yeah. As far as that stuff goes too, if anybody's trying to do this and they're wondering what kind of audio equipment we're using, I guess they could ask us and we'd be glad to show.
Oh yeah. I mean,
yeah. Pop us an email. We can take pictures. We can have
that wants to set it up or anything. I mean, you know, I mean, I guess that most people I know that do this, they're more than willing to help people get started in doing it. And it's really not that difficult to set up. I mean, you know, we've got kind of a complicated setup here with this, but it's just preference because people just do. I know people that's been doing it since as long as you've been able to. And you know, longer than Hangouts, longer than Hangouts have been around, and they just, you know, a headset, microphone, and somebody to listen to them talk. Yeah,
he's been a lot of good stuff. I'll tell you though, if you get on YouTube and you look up podcast or live streaming, a lot of people will show you the equipment they're using.
They don't show you how to hook it up.
Exactly, and that's a big thing. I mean, when you're working with stuff like this. Like what we've got a little 1202 VL Z3 Mackie board, but we're also running a 362 sonic maximizer and an R430 graphic equalizer. We're using Audio Technica and Shure microphones. Besides that, it's the routing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, getting everything to roll forwards and backwards.
And if you toss an email, Daryl's good at drawing a diagram out. He'll just scribble something down on paper, take a photo of it, and get it to you.
Yeah. Well, one thing I haven't quite figured out yet, we do got a device, and me and Tracy went through for the call-ins, and we've tried the thing out, and it works. Last night, though, I was just going through it. I got bored, and I was trying to, you know, make sure that all the bugs were worked out with that. And then I was going to do a test. And then I was going to record some stuff, you know, for maybe playback today. Well, the thing is, out of 3 calls to 3 separate people, 2 of them worked good. One of them had internal, a feedback loop going on. They could hear themselves, you know, bad enough that they couldn't really talk.
Did you ask them to turn their computer down?
No, I didn't do that. But there is bugs with this stuff, though. It'll work one moment. And then all of a sudden it just doesn't.
It's electricity. It's supposed to work the same all the time. That's what they told me in physics class.
Yeah. But, you know, it's like when we're at a show, everything will be working just fine. And you'll get through the second set. When you go back on the third set, then nothing's working.
Yeah.
If you've ever run sound for a band or a radio or TV station, you know exactly what he's talking about. Turn it on, test it out, turn it off, come back, turn it on again. And the boogeyman got in it.
Yeah, sometimes it's just that stuff just gets warmed up and gets, you know, your resistance changes when things get warm. If there's a lot of wear there, especially if it's older equipment,
That or one of the band,
new equipment, it can happen.
Or one of the band members spilt a drink on a cord that's got a
too,
crack in the insulation.
Oh, that happens, or
sure
somebody jumps on it.
I'm sure that's probably a lot more likely the cause.
Well, there are gremlins in the machine though, because we have had 2 cables go down at the exact same time. You know, when it be both cables, and you're like, there's no way.
I picked 2 bad cables.
Yeah, or they were working and now they're not at the same exact time. It happens. But
gremlins, boy, I thought since the wall come down, we didn't have those anymore.
No, remember they made Gremlins 2. So they just let them right back in.
I'm talking. Yeah, man, I got to remember. I'm a little older. I'm thinking Gremlins from the Kremlin.
Well, yeah, but,
World War II.
But see, Warner Brothers, they made a sequel, so it made the real Gremlins jealous.
Oh,
okay. So we got a second run of those bad boys,
and we got them in the shop.
Oh yeah.
I bet instead of a black hole, I bet you that's the problem. We got gremlins running around grabbing stuff when we ain't looking and hiding it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's probably the case. I mean, it happens.
That or the cat.
I would be willing to wager that cat did do it.
It could
we get it over there.
I've seen that cat look kind of shifty.
Oh, hell, don't turn your back on it. Come up and claw you just for the hell of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but yeah, if you got any questions on some of the stuff, we'll be glad to answer it. We're none of us are pros at any of this stuff, but I guess you take all 3 of us together and we got it handled pretty good.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I can go with that, I guess.
It's working.
Yeah. Well, it's working at our end.
Yeah. But yeah, Super Tuesday. Well, let's see.
Well, the Democrats had 1 or 2 more states with primaries than the Republicans did.
Yeah.
I did notice that. I haven't seen or heard any results. Of course, I'm rather stay off the computer than on it.
Oh, yeah.
So.
It was also Deadpool Tuesday. We showed up at the shop this morning.
Apparently. I mean, there's 3 of us just showed up out of the blue, out of nowhere, all wearing Deadpool shirts. I mean,
yeah.
Had your wife kind of freaked out, I think. She was like, y'all planning this?
Yeah. They called each other this morning and coordinated outfits.
Hey man, when you put a bunch of old comic book geeks together, it's going to happen eventually. Yeah. It could have just as easily been Captain America or Namor or something like that. Who knows?
Or Spider-Man or Punisher, probably, because I'm loaded down with Punisher t-shirts.
I don't think I have any Spider-Man at all.
Really?
No.
I got 4 or 5 probably.
I never really did like the guy.
I always liked Spider-Man. I didn't like Peter Parker too much.
Yeah.
But I always liked Spider-Man.
The guy kind of you know what? I think Spider-Man's a liberal.
Hey, I don't know.
Well, I believe that he does go Team Stark. I believe he is Team Stark. I mean, I'm Team Cap all the way.
Oh yeah.
So, register nothing.
There you go. Yes. For those of you that don't know, what we're talking about is there was this big story arc in the Marvel Universe, Civil War, and you basically had Iron Man.
I believe there's a movie coming out.
Yeah, there is.
Soon that's
it was very political though, because you had Captain America on this side, and you had Iron Man on this side. Iron Man was for registration of superheroes. They had to reveal their identities and all this stuff, and Captain America saying this isn't American.
That's right.
Well, Iron Man's rich and can do what he wants, so he really doesn't care. He can afford armed guards and a compound. Captain America, he's an average Joe. Come on.
Yeah. And been fighting for America since World War II.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar.
And at least he uses a gun now and again.
Oh yeah.
Well, see, it's a perfect parallel to the to gun registration.
Yes.
You're registering weapons because these superheroes are weapons.
You know what I want to see them register? I want to see them register the press. You want to operate the press in New York State, you got to register, you got to get a permit and pay a tax every year. And if you don't, you get caught doing it without, you get arrested and thrown in jail. That would sure wake some people up. I bet you a lot would change sides real quick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
probably would. I don't know if I completely agree with that because I don't like registration of any kind.
Oh, I
Forced
don't either.
registration of any kind.
I don't either. But if they want to make me register my guns, then shouldn't the person reporting the news have to register as a press agent and be held to
don't report the news anymore?
Well, that's what I mean. And
a lot of times.
Yeah, and be held to a standard of fair and honest reporting. If people who register their gun in New York City have to store their guns and ammos in a certain way and are subject to search to verify that they're stored properly, why shouldn't the press be held to verify their report?
Well, it can go both ways. There's almost it's kind of a scary subject, just like the gun stuff, because
that's my point.
Yeah,
is if we had a president there that was saying, okay, no one has to register a gun. You can own anything you want. No background checks. But press, guess what? We're going to tax the hell out of you. You got to register. We need fingerprints, DNA sample, and all that. There'd be a huge outcry. I mean, let's face it, man. MSM, gone.
Yeah.
Well, the three networks, gone.
Me and Sean was kind of talking about this today, just a little bit. We was talking about the four bigs. You got your First Amendment folks that are just, they strictly just go towards that kind of thing. You got the Second Amendment guys, and I think all three of us probably fall under that category. That's what we do most.
Yes and no. Yeah, I'll say I voice my opinion more on the Second Amendment.
Well, that's what I mean right there.
Yeah,
we're more vocal towards that. And then you got your big government guys. And of course, I'm not saying that we don't all speak a little bit about it. And then I don't really know where to put it, but the folks against BLM, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead.
Big government.
Yeah. Nobody can get along.
Yeah.
Everybody feels like if.
Well, you see, I can see where all of them are coming from. And yes, while I will tote the Second Amendment a little harder than I do the rest, I'm pro-Constitution.
Well, yeah, I think we all are.
And the Bill of Rights is part of the Constitution, and every one of them are important. There were some big arguments when our founding fathers were writing the Bill of Rights about what order things should go in. A lot wanted the Second Amendment to be the first. I kind of agree with how the founding fathers decided to settle it. We should always try peaceful means first. And if that doesn't work, we got the Second Amendment to make sure we keep the first and the rest.
We got chat room now, by the way.
Okay.
We got a comment box on the on our Gun Channels feed.
Okay, cool.
G and Pink took care of it. Looks like got it set up for us.
All right, that's awesome. And it's www.gunchannels.com/Andalusia Armory.
That's right.
Or how can they search for it if they don't want to do that?
You better tell them how to spell Andalusia.
Go ahead, Sean.
They can just go up in the upper left-hand corner where the featured channels are, and just scroll through that and find us. Or they can do a search for it on there and find it. But it's easy just to scroll through that little feed on in the upper left that has the featured channels, and they'll find us there. Or just come through the feed there. And there's also a link on the Andalusia Armory Facebook page.
Okay.
I put our live link up there.
Oh, cool.
And they can also get to us on the YouTube side if they want to.
All righty. The Gun Channels thing is GUNCHANNELS.com. And you can send us emails at AndalusiaArmory@gmail.com, and that's ANDALUSIAARMORY. I guess somebody really wants to, they could call. If you go to our Gun Channels, if you go to our YouTube, if you go to our Facebook page, our Twitter, our Instagram. What's that other thing we just set up? Wait, it was Instagram, wasn't it?
It might have been.
It probably was. Well, you had an Instagram already, didn't you? You just weren't using it.
Something like that.
Yeah.
No. When I went to it, I don't know what happened there. I thought we had it. We didn't.
How about Pinterest? Do we got a number and stuff on that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we do.
Okay.
Now, here a while back, our Twitter and our Pinterest and some of our stuff on YouTube got taken down.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So that may have been what happened with the Instagram, because I had already redone the Twitter and the Pinterest thing, and then maybe that's what was up with that.
Okay.
Who knows? And figure. But yeah, content. There's a pretty good bit of content. We've got some stuff we posted this morning, talking to one of the local politicians at the polling, and
yeah, it's always nice when a local or county, state level politician takes the time when you do run into them on the street to talk to you.
Yeah. Cool thing about Corey this morning too was he didn't promote himself not one time. I was like, you want to make a little video with me to say, you know, what's important about voting?
Yeah.
And not one time.
He did not even come close to that. He was talking completely about getting out there and voting.
Yeah.
And what made it cool? I like the way he did that. He completely steered away from self promotion. That kind of made him look a little bit better in my book.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you watch the clip, if you look behind him in the pickup truck, there's actually a sign for another politician. You have to kind of look hard to figure that out.
Yeah.
But so it very neutral piece.
Yeah. Well, the thing was, when I walked up, he was actually standing there in front of that truck, you know, so he's a pretty cool guy. He's been in here before. I mean, you know, we've had a couple, you know, talking to him, run-ins with him.
Yeah.
Anyway, it goes, you can get on there and look. He's got some nice things to say about why you should get out there and vote.
Yeah. Now, you know, there's been some talk about, should we make election days federal holidays so more people can get out and vote? Maybe, but we close on a lot of federal holidays, and quite honestly, Super Tuesday was pretty super for us. I think because people were out to vote, they said, well, I'm out. Geez, you know, I'm going to stop by.
Yeah.
Well, there are polling places not far from here. So, you know, my polling place, you know, just, you know, a few miles down the road from the house, which is only a few miles from here. So it's, you know, it's pretty easy to, matter of fact, when I waited this morning to go out and vote this morning so that I could go out and vote. And then I had, you know, I came by here and, you know, did my business here, you know, making sure that we were going to be set up for tonight and everything. So, you know, I just did it all in one trip, and, you know, that's just easy because it was right on the way. I didn't have to make any special trips.
Well, you know what, man? I'll say this about that. I think there's a possibility that maybe they need to make it a federal half day. And the reason I say that is
for people who work.
Yeah, exactly. Because there are some people in those jobs, in certain jobs, you cannot not be there.
Yeah. And you know, if you got to work and you got kids coming home from school, it's kind of hard to stop between work and getting home, depending on the age of your kids. I'd probably trust my 8-year-old better than I would my 15 or 18-year-old to be home alone.
Well, yeah, it rolls like that. So, I mean, it's, you know what, because I guess realistically, we could still be open. Smaller businesses that it would help to be open, we could still be open.
Oh, yes.
You know,
and this isn't 1950 anymore.
Yeah.
You got a lot more single parent households.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Or both parents are working.
Yeah.
So it's not as easy to juggle kids.
Well, this morning it kind of worked out like this. Julie usually takes the kids to school. I took them to school this morning, and on the way back, which, you know, I'm over in Op. So when I dropped them off, I went by, you know, our voting house, and I'm kind of glad I did that because, like I said in the video, maybe you do got that extra minute, but then like we're saying, maybe you don't.
Yeah.
Who knows? But there's a lot of good choices out there, especially on the presidential side, which
maybe too many choices.
Yeah, maybe too many. Yeah, looking at the ballot is a little bit, can be a little bit overwhelming. Like today over in Op,
yeah,
we're a small town, and I had two sides.
Wow.
And
yeah,
I'm just saying.
Well, over half of them were the delegates for the presidential candidates.
Well, the presidential candidates took up the whole first line.
Well, that's because
you know,
they were all still on the ballot. The ones that they couldn't take them off the
Yeah,
ballot or
once you
whatever.
qualify and put your name in, and get
So
your
they still
petitions
had
in.
every Republican candidate that was on there from the start were all still on the ballot.
Yeah, once you legally qualify, they can't take you off. They got to keep you there.
Which is good. We didn't. Let's see. We had one amendment, I believe, this time. Ain't it right, Sean, for Alabama?
Yeah, one amendment. Yeah,
And
the one for retirement pay for was it circuit judges?
Well, no, you know what, man? This morning when I looked at it before I went to the poll, I probably could have told you.
Yeah,
but
I remember reading it and checking it out and everything, but I don't remember exactly what it was now.
Yeah, it was
it had to do with a retirement, something about fixing their retirement plan or something.
Yeah,
or extending it or something. It was
like I said, when you look at that stuff, and you know what, this right here goes to show that it is real nice. Right before you go, we got the internet, we got our phones, we got whatever. If there's something on there that you don't understand, it's real nice to look it up right then and look at it, so it's fresh on your brain. Even if you can't, I mean, you can make an educated decision somehow.
Oh yeah, 30 years ago, if you walked into the polling place and looked at all that stuff, and you really hadn't been paying attention to the local news or national news, and even if you do pay attention, a lot of times some of those ballot propositions and stuff just weren't covered. And it'd be real nice if they sent out a ballot 2 weeks before or posted it online or something, so we could go and look and say, geez, I don't ever remember seeing or hearing about that. Let me check that out.
And now it's a lot harder for them to sneak small stuff, in there on bills and whatnot.
Yeah.
We know. If we don't know, it's because we didn't look.
Yeah, that all depends whether or not you can, if a state, county, or has line item veto.
Well, something that perplexed me was, and I had never noticed this before, was the fact that the Democratic ballot does not have any local candidates on it. You cannot vote in the local on the Democratic ballot.
Really?
Yeah, they're not on our ballot, and I went and looked it up when I got home to see, because I just did not know why that was. I wouldn't have known it if not for the fact that my wife's a hippie. So,
yeah, some places have open primaries where, regardless of your party registration, you go in and vote for anybody on any party line. Other places have closed primaries where, if you're a registered Republican, you go on the Republican primary day and you're only picking Republican candidates. And sometimes Democrats have a separate primary day. Independents may have another primary day. And that's good. States' rights.
Well, see, I wondered about that to begin with, but then they're doing the presidential thing. They get the presidential candidates, and I believe that they also had the state level candidates on there, because she said Shelby and them were on there, but the local candidates were not on there.
Well, the local could have a different primary day too.
I know that. Next week is supposed to be something for local. It's supposed to be our local election for something, but I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah, I guess we're going to have to
when
get
they tell
online.
me it's the day to go vote, I go vote. I look up a little bit of stuff for the local people, because a lot of these local guys, they don't get out and politic like they should. They don't do like they used to. When I was a kid, by the time it was supper time, there was 10 people done come to the door knocking when it come time to go around campaigning.
Yeah.
You knew who all of them was, because
I remember
they were all coming around,
Yeah, they'd make themselves available at the local coffee shop.
Walking
through the mall.
Yeah.
Something.
You go to the grocery store and they were right there, walking around up front.
Of course, with
soliciting.
with computers today, you have a lot less local coverage of the news, local channel. Matter of fact, I'll tell you what, our local cable company, yeah. Guess what? When they moved all those channels, yeah, I can't get the local channels anymore. I got to get extended cable.
Yeah.
And it's really lousy because, me, I like to keep up. And if I watch the news, I'd rather watch local. I could care less what's going on in New York anymore.
Yeah, well, the local is what's really difficult because, like, I don't watch TV at all. Pretty much, I get my news from the news outlets. Like, instead of watching the Channel 12, the NBC local affiliates, instead of watching NBC and have WSFA as our local outlet there.
Mm.
Instead of watching them and getting the news out of like Montgomery for local area, I check their Facebook feeds and read the stories that I want to read about. That way I can just filter through them, read them out real quick.
Yeah, but we have one radio station that does keep their Facebook up pretty good.
I don't get the local though, because I don't really get anything that's happening around town, and I really don't want to watch the one channel that has local stuff on it.
Yep.
And
that's probably where the parties, the Democratic Party, Republican Party, independent parties on the national level need to get down to the smaller areas, the rural areas where you still have some old fashioned politicians that shake hands with you at Sunday morning church.
Yeah. I agree.
And educate them and help them to get a larger online presence.
Yeah, it would be real nice. I mean, it's a double-edged sword with that kind of stuff. Yeah, I know, right? It just did it to me too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was wondering what that was. All of a sudden,
stereo instead of mono.
Mine went the other way. I had mono instead of stereo. All of a sudden.
Well, I think that's it's a double-edged sword. It is good that we can get instant news like a WOPP. I don't know if that's who you were talking about.
It was
Robert over
WOPP. Robert's real good about.
Yeah. I just don't listen to radio that much, so
yeah,
it's like I have to go out of my way to get it. But yeah.
But it's great being able to read those stories like that and being able to pick up stuff instantly. But then at the same time, we don't see those little bitty stories that they throw in the middle on news broadcasts. And those are the ones that guys like us look at and go, "Whoa, hold on just a second.
Yeah.
What was that?"
Yeah.
You see this big story on the national news and you see a little blurb about something someplace else in the country. And they're like, that seems just as important as this other event they're covering. Why aren't they saying anything?
Yeah.
Or, hey, I saw that real quick. 5 minutes later, I went back to link a buddy to it so he could see it too. And it's gone.
Ghost Files.
Yeah.
I wish we had the X-Files theme song that we can play right now. But yeah, again, if you're checking stuff out on YouTube, go to our Gun Channels page, www.gunchannels.com/Andalusia Armory. You know what? Excuse me, /Andalusia Armory. You said a while ago about us having to spell Andalusia Armory for. If they're listening to this, they've seen it. So I'm just thinking.
Yeah.
Our symbol is the what is it? The Remington rifle and the M16 with the M9 on top with Andalusia Armory on the bottom. There's a couple of our social media sites that won't allow us to have the full insignia on there.
Yeah, because of how big it is or their masking. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But generally what I try to do is at least show the Andalusia part because that is the one that's kind of hard to spell.
Yeah.
But yeah, go over and check out Gun Channels. And when you get done with that, you can head over to the YouTube and check out some of the other videos,
which we're working on a few more.
Yeah, we are.
I'm still having some issues with the YouTube side. I don't know what's going on there, but
it looks like it's rolling, isn't it?
Yeah, it's rolling over here. I mean, it's just the feed.
It could just be our
the
provider.
Well, it's the comment section. It's it's not set up right or something. But the Gun Channel side is set up right, and it's.
Is anybody asking anything on there? What are they doing?
No, they just was talking a little bit about mainly about the just getting everything set up and
Okay.
the fact that I live down the road from the gun shop and and I'm not in here constantly.
He is in here constantly.
I was in here most of the day today.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. We had a good time today, though. We had Jason came in and hung out with us, and then I can't remember the other fellow's name. Do y'all?
I can't never remember that other fellow's name.
Yeah, the younger guy.
Is it? It's like Smith. You know what I mean? It's a real common name.
Yeah.
It's so common that it's hard. But he's a good dude. He's probably listening right now.
I hope he is.
Yeah, me too. Excuse me.
Yeah, he comes out and hangs out here in between classes at the local community college. Yeah. And hey, I wish I had a gun shop near the local community college when I attended, because I probably would have cut a few classes.
Well, I think the kid is a National Guard.
Yeah, I believe he's in the National Guard also. Yeah,
he's a good kid, real good kid. We have a lot of people come in and just we're kind of set up like your old school gun shop. People come in, they talk for a while, they'll check something out. We really don't run people off if they want to talk. No. We even have a sitting area for them over there with coffee.
We have a couple tables, a little kitchenette area, microwave coffee, tables. Yeah. I mean,
we almost always bring in pizza or something for lunch.
Yep, pizza for lunch, donuts, whatever. If you're here at lunchtime, we might ask you, hey, you want to run for lunch? We're buying.
There you go. Yeah, we buy, you fly.
Yep.
But it's kind of cool. And there are other gun shops like that. And I see it more in Alabama and I'm sorry, but this is true. I see it a lot more in Alabama than like when we go to Florida. When we go to Georgia, looking around, we just don't see that.
Yeah, no one's really got a sitting area except for in Alabama. Yeah, we were just in the shop.
We didn't have one down at we had a couple of chairs in there at the old shop down in down in Carolina. Oh, we had a couple of chairs and a bar stool. I think 2 bar stools and 1 chair maybe.
Yeah, I can't
one
remember.
Dude that was always in that chair. It was pretty much his chair.
Was it Wade?
No, it wasn't Wade. But
oh yeah, we got a few customers that just seem to be every place all the time.
Yeah, I'm thinking we just need to make some of them some bedrooms and stuff in the back.
Yeah,
you probably do.
And the best part is we don't limit you just to the Second Amendment or guns here. You want to come in, you want to talk about religion, local politics. You want to complain about your wife because you do it at home and no one listens. Yeah, we listen. We might not care, because we're having the same problem at home with our wife. But,
Sean's like, whoa. But yeah, it's pretty nice. And I think there was a departure from that for a while too, though. I mean, from gun shops being traditional gun shops.
Well, yeah, I've talked about it before on other podcasts and just in the lobby on gun channels before that there's not very many places around here to do that. This is pretty much it. And
it used to be your really general store too.
Yeah, you don't get that a lot anymore. It's
now James and Linda over in Op gun shop.
I don't ever get over there and haven't really. I've been in there once since they opened it up, and
it's pretty nice.
So I'm never over there unless I'm over there seeing family or something. So, and I try not to do that too often. I mean,
what was the gun shop we was in earlier this week up in Pelham? No,
Alabasta.
No, it was right up the road from Montevallo, whatever that little town there is. I can't remember.
Yeah.
That was cool. They had all the memorabilia.
A little military museum. They had a couple of couches.
Yeah,
so you could sit down and talk. Yeah,
good. That's almost as good as tables.
Yeah, man, you got to go up there and see that place though.
Yeah.
They got a real nice Jeep in there, man. It's
I mean, they had some neat machine guns and some other stuff, but I got to say that if I was going to pick one thing to take home from there, it probably would have been that Jeep.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man, it was 2 letters and Arms. TS Arms, I believe, was the name of it.
I think so.
Yeah. TS Arms. You'll check them. I'm sure they got a Facebook page if you want to.
I just wish I could remember the name of the town, because we originally went up. We thought we were going to one town, but it was actually the neighboring town. Probably one of those things like I have an Andalusia mailing address, but
Yeah.
I don't live in Andalusia.
Indeed. You know where we got to get? We got to get down to the pharmacy in Florella and check out the guns they have there.
A pharmacy with guns.
Yeah.
Get your drugs and
didn't know
guns
about
all
this
in one
either.
stop.
Yeah,
This is news to me,
dude. So I can't remember the name of the pharmacy either, but
well, I'm pretty sure there's not that many in Florella. I can
There's 2 of
guarantee you the town is like 2 miles long.
it ain't even that, dude.
The main street,
Half of that is a lake.
I was going to say Main Street's only 2 blocks for a business section. And,
Yeah.
oh, I cut to mono and back to stereo.
Did you? It was probably because I bumped it right here.
Yeah, I bumped it right here too. So.
But yeah, I think that's a pretty cool concept there, and that's old school too, man.
Oh yeah. I mean, you used to have your
Alex over here on Gun Channel said that's in Pelham.
Pelham.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
Okay.
He's from Florence, I think.
Oh yeah.
I think that's where he said he lives.
Well, that's real cool.
Yeah, he's from up in North Alabama.
You know, that's one of the things really cool about having the on the gun channels. They can get on there and say stuff to us and ask questions and stuff, and it's
they can say, "Hey guys, you guys are messing up. That's not the right town."
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, y'all suck.
Yep. Get a map out, maybe.
Yeah,
we're sitting here with 2 computers in front of us. You think one of us could have quick and typed in?
Yeah, I keep reaching for the wrong one. I got my laptop over here where I'm monitoring, and then I got the shop desktop over here where where we actually got the feed going at. And
and you got your phone too. Mine died. I was going to try to help, but
no.
I think when we do set up a little studio, we're gonna have to get like 5 monitors so you can have split screen, multiple monitors going.
We could probably do it pretty well.
I'm sure we can
like that.
Yeah, I'm sure we can do something that's outrageously overkill.
Yeah,
that,
we got to.
Yeah, we have to. I mean, it's the only way we ever do anything.
Well, hey man, when you take guys like, I was going to say gun guys like us, but it's not only gun guys, but it's gun guys that are never satisfied with enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We all our ideas of more and what more should be are all different, which makes for some interesting conversation and some interesting combinations.
Indeed. What you got on some news, man?
I got a confirmation that that my payment through PayPal went through. I'd forgotten about that.
All right. So, is anything happened today? I mean, we've been in here talking amongst each other. Do any of us even know if any news happened today?
You know, I haven't gotten any alerts on anything that was going on really, but
was there the school shooting? That was yesterday.
That was yesterday. They had some more on it today. Apparently they have the sheriff or law enforcement in the area has what they believe to be the motive. They're just not ready to release it yet. From what I've read on the shooting, it definitely sounds like there was either 1 or 2 primary targets. One individual took multiple gunshots and the other only took 1 gunshot. It sounds like it was a very targeted.
So this was a targeted thing.
That's what it sounds like to me. It doesn't sound like, oh, I'm mad at everybody because I'm an outcast. I'm going to shoot everybody. It sounded like it was probably a personal thing, which most stabbing, shootings, murders, they are a personal thing usually. And most people that commit one of those crimes generally only do it once because it's a heat of the moment, a passionate thing. It's sad that our children now, instead of white knuckling it in the playground, have to think they need to have a gun.
Yeah.
Well, I ain't even gonna get into that. I don't know why that happened or where it happened. I mean, when I went to school, your biggest fear was 2 guys were gonna get on you instead of just 1.
Yeah. Or either I forgot my homework. What am I going to do now?
Yeah.
Honestly, that was my thoughts too.
Yeah.
Pink,
I never did my homework.
Gang related.
Do I know?
I was responding to Pink out in the chat. He said that he was guessing it was probably gang related, You know,
Oh,
that's
yeah?
what it sounds like to me. I mean, if it was targeted like that,
Well, it could have just been somebody that just
well, considering it wasn't in the city, if you look at photographs of the area of the school, it's a suburban rural border area.
Yeah.
And if you look at the names involved, it doesn't necessarily look like it might be gang related. The school's small. It's a K through 12. They got the elementary campus just a couple of yards away from the junior high and high school. And I think there's only about 1,500 kids in the combined 12 K through 12, which, you know, leaves for some pretty small personal classes. I mean, I'm sure all the teachers know almost every student in that school.
yeah. So it's like somewhere around here then.
A little
Sounds
bit bigger,
like.
but not too darn much,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. That's kind of like Op had too many schools.
Yeah.
We had the elementary school, and then we had the middle school, and then we had high school.
Well, then we had the Fleta school that went through the 8th grade.
There you go.
And then you transferred to high school or to Strawn, and Strawn went K through 12.
Yeah.
So you had, and all of those schools were, you know, within pretty much
5 miles, 10.
within 10 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's even 10 miles. I really don't.
At most, I mean, it's only 13 from Andalusia to Op. So
yeah,
and Strawn is in between there. So yeah, it's, I mean, from the high school to Strawn might be 10 miles.
Yeah. Some of that's probably a little leftover from the days when we didn't have the highways connecting it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Traveled with horse and buggy, and sometimes small communities are reluctant to give up their school. They want their kids near their home. Is 5 miles further down the road far from home? Not really, but it's an identity thing. It's weird. I've been on a school board and dealt with local school issues and possibly closing the local school or merging it, and it became a very heated topic where, from a straight up business standpoint and the best education we can give our kids, I didn't see it.
Well, it's that, and you know, too, a lot of the times you take two schools like Strawn and Fleta, there might be enough difference. And I hate to say this, but in the government of the two schools, that some parents may just prefer one over the other, and I don't know if that's such a good idea for them to be able to do that. But
a lot of times with these local schools, though, it comes down to sports. Because I remember when we were in school, I remember people who had grandparents that lived in Op, but they lived in Kinston.
Yeah.
But their grandparents lived in Op.
Yeah, and they'd come to Op.
They would come to Op to play because it was a bigger school in Kinston.
Yeah.
And they had a better chance. If they were a good player, they had a better chance of playing and, you know, getting a little bit of a name for themselves so they could get college scholarship.
Yep. And
playing for Op than they would playing for Kinston.
And being students from out of the district, there's some districts that if you're a student from out of the district, you actually have to pay tuition to go to that school in some places.
Yeah.
We had that where I was on the school board. We had some parents that wanted their children to go to a different district because we were a very small school. We didn't have some of the opportunities that the bigger schools could offer. And that's one of the things me and some others were trying to solve. We wanted the kids to have the best opportunities we could. And then there were some parents that, you know, my child's a Scioto Tiger, and I was a Scioto Tiger. Grandpa was a Scioto Tiger. We're not going to Wellsville.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like,
what's more important?
My God, if your time on high school football team is the biggest highlight in your life, you really need to get out from behind the computer, off the couch, get out and go someplace. Just saying.
That's some Napoleon Dynamite stuff right there.
That is a lot of people, though. I know of a lot of people that was pretty much their thing, is that the biggest highlight of their life.
I know plenty of 40 and 50-year-olds that still can't stop talking about that pass they caught their junior year. You know, I played Little League football. Yeah, I made a spectacular play. I mention it now and again, but it was not the highlight of my life.
Well, I like to say that too, but I mean, we talk about hunting when we were kids a lot too.
Yeah.
I guess the same thing, just different subject, and then people take it too far maybe sometimes.
Yeah. And you know, I was in the military, and we get a lot of former military, current military, and you know what? We get in here, we'll get over to the table, and we'll start talking about, hey, that time I had in France, or I went here.
That time you climbed up that flagpole.
Yeah. Stories we don't want our kids to hear.
Yeah, I think we've drifted a long way from where we started.
Super Tuesday.
Hope everybody got out and voiced their opinions for who they want to run for their party.
You know what? I'm glad we just said that, because I remember a conversation last night that I had with Lori Alexander. She's a real cool person. You can find her on YouTube, Facebook. I mean, she's just everywhere. She was saying that she really didn't, and this is a big thing with a lot of people, and I'm not going to fault anybody for their opinion on stuff like this. You know, even if maybe they aren't right in my head, it's not it's not for me to tell somebody that they're absolutely wrong. I don't, because we never know. But she said she really don't buy into the voting thing, because she thinks it's something just to give us something to do every 4 years. And by the way, not making fun of her by saying that, that's her commitment to what
I know
she
a lot of
believes.
people who have that view, though.
Well, here's the thing, though. This is what I said last night. Even if you believe that with everything, and even if it's true, here's the deal. If somebody goes out, if you go out and vote, or somebody that may not be political at all and may not have any idea about what's going on with our government, if they get out and vote, that's dipping their toes into going a step further. Maybe then they start reading what's going on the whitehouse.gov and start really trying to pick out, you know, what laws are this and what bills are that and what amendments are going on and why they're going on.
Yeah, I mean, if you just say, well, I'm not going to vote because my vote don't matter, it doesn't matter what I read or how I feel about something, you're contributing to the problem. We have a problem. The way some political arenas are set up, the incumbents always have the advantage, and it does seem like you just can't get rid of some of them. I'd like to see our country get back to the way it used to be. First of all, I think Congress should have their should be paid by the state. The representatives should be paid by the state they represent, not the federal government. My federal tax dollars should not be going to pay a congressman or senator from New York State if I live in Alabama. My Alabama tax dollar should go to pay my Alabama senator or congressman.
And that might work out.
Or better yet, take away their retirement, make their medical care the VA like veterans, take away their pay. Originally, our politicians were local farmers, business owners who cared about their community, about their country. They went to Washington during the summer only, did the minimum amount of business to keep the country going, and then went home to their families, their crops, their stores, their community. They spent more time in their local area meeting, talking to, and knowing local issues and state issues than they did in Washington, worrying about how much carbon we're putting into the environment. I'm telling you, a couple volcanoes go off, they do a lot more than we've done since the Industrial Revolution. And I'm sure we're going to hear about that from someone.
What do you think, Sean?
Well, I agree with that. That's a pretty good assessment. Yeah, if they did a lot more.
Well, if they didn't get paid, I don't understand.
They would do a lot more if they had to actually,
and they wouldn't want to do it for more than two or three terms. I mean, it's hard work. I was an elected official, and it's
they would
not
also
fun.
have to want to do it.
Yeah,
This is something they would actually have to want to.
And why do you spend $1 million for a $200,000 a year job? There's something wrong with that.
Well, I mean, you was talking the other day, maybe not taking their pay completely away, but paying them. Yeah, exactly. Or maybe even paying them for a certain
travel,
or
expenses while they're in
only
there.
Get paid for the sessions.
Yeah.
Like when they have the sessions, they only get paid for the sessions, then they would only.
And what's wrong with government apartment buildings for them when they're in Washington staying?
Be a good idea. I mean, and that's been proposed too several times.
They don't
and it
need
just
to
never does
own
anything.
a $600,000 home in Virginia and one where they're from.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well, we do have some good ones that roll back and forth. I think Shelby here from Alabama, I think he does a good job with keeping up with what we're doing locally.
Yeah.
And you know what's going on in Washington and abroad.
Yeah, he does. A lot of people think he's a little too aggressive on some issues and not aggressive enough on other issues. But I think that he does do a pretty good job of keeping up with what's going on. He knows what's going on, and whoever writes his form letters for him knows what's going on, because when I get those back, I actually feel like somebody's talking to me and not just getting a standard letter.
There you
Because
go.
they actually will reference things that of the issues that
Rather than just the bill number.
yeah, like the Hearing Protection Act thing. They actually reference things about that, and I'm sure that they, whoever wrote that.
Yeah, I'm not sure where. There we go.
That's still there.
Maybe where it's at.
We still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're
I got
good.
it back
Okay.
now.
Just making sure we're still there.
All
right.
But
it just it seems more like they're a little more personal rather than just a standard form letter of HB 438A, and
is that real?
Well,
probably not.
No, I don't. I'm just rattling off numbers to go. With
It may be someplace in the country.
I'm sure there probably is a such bill as that. But that's not that particular bill. I can't remember the number for that particular bill. But
well, speaking of the hearing protection, won't you tell them a little bit about that? Somebody might be listening and knows nothing about it, and you seem to be on top of the ball and on the game on that.
Well, it's the bill to remove silencers and suppressors from the NFA.
Out from under the ATF control.
Yeah. And it's a really good thing for, at least a lot of states have at least got it now to where you can use them in, either, be able to get them through, the NFA, and it'd be legal in your state to do that. And some states, Alabama, I can't remember how many years ago it's been now.
Recent, last year,
yeah, for hunting.
I thought it was longer ago.
No, it was last year.
It was proposed longer,
but
it passed
it
last
seems like
year.
It was just last year, but I was thinking it was longer than that. But they have it now where you can use them for hunting. I mean, we're still required to go through all of that, the process of the NFA trust and everything
which is rather funny.
The tax stamp
in Europe, where guns are highly regulated and registered, they almost have to use silencers.
Yeah, England specifically.
Yeah, there's a lot of places that do that, and they're easily
you buy them at the hardware store, basically.
Yeah,
we a lot of people at gun channels here. One night, it may have been more than one time when it happened, but there's a guy here goes by the name of Catch Bay. He's from, I want to think he's from the Netherlands. I may be wrong about that. But anyway, he went one night and bought, well, it was daytime for him, went and bought a suppressor, and, fully legal in his country, just, went in, bought it, bam, bam. He was, toting his camera around with him while he was doing it. And Finland. He's from Finland. Okay.
There you go. I love that right there, man. The instant chat.
I love that.
Yep.
That just, but he went in, bought it, boom, just like that. And, a lot of their other gun laws are highly regulated about things, but obtaining a suppressor is really easy because it's something, it's a safety.
It makes sense.
Yeah,
it does.
I mean, on an indoor, if you ever been in an indoor range or even an outdoor range and taken off your hearing pro,
oh, you're done.
I mean, depending on what someone's shooting.
Especially for situations where, like, if you're out hunting and, your hunting partners or other parties that are out hunting, that it can be really distracting, and not to mention the kind of a lot of people get dazed for a second if
Well,
they're not used to it.
it's also upsetting to the game. I
Yeah.
mean, not only, I mean, you're out there taking an animal's life, okay, but that doesn't mean you have to upset the squirrel, the rabbit, if you're hunting a deer. Quite honestly, animals hear a gunshot, they start running and panicking. It may cut down on deer automobile collisions. I mean, if I shoot at the deer that's 20 yards in front of me, the deer 150 yards to my right
doesn't run out.
Isn't going to run out.
Yeah. Well, even aside from that, just like down at my mom's.
Oh, and you don't want to hear gunshot from dawn to dusk.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, sometimes some places it sounds worse than World War II.
Yeah, man. We got she's got a hunting club right down, and then the management area is just right across the highway. So it's all day, and for me, it's not one of those things. I want them to quit shooting, but
God, I just wish it would be quiet so I could listen to the bird
for just a second.
Yeah,
for just a second. Or when the kids are outside, sometimes Delilah, she's little, she's 5,
and the loud noise gives her a little start.
Yeah, she comes in. Why is everybody shooting? And then I have to go through this and that. But either way it goes, if we weren't in the mindset that we are down there, the county sheriff could be getting a call every 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. And there are some areas where that's a problem too. Someone moves from the city into the suburbs and they happen to move pretty close to a line where it's hunting on one side and not the other side of the road, and they hear gunshots and all of a sudden they're upset. Honestly, got a deer coming in from 50 yards. I'm watching it. Another 20 yards for me to get a good shot, so I'm not wounding it. And in that other 30 yards, I'm waiting for it to move. All of a sudden, 2 gunshots go off, and that deer's perked up and looking around, and now it's changing direction.
And it's seen you.
Well, even if it hasn't seen me, it's changing direction because it was coming toward me, and the sound was behind me.
And it was a 25-pound or a 25-point buck.
It's always
25-point buck, man. Well, that sounds like the hunting stories we hear here.
Well, yeah, that reminds me of the song, the 30-point buck.
There you go.
If you're familiar with Wisconsin area, there's a group out there, the Bananas, I believe it was, and they had a rap song about hunting a 30-point buck in a semi-automatic, heat-seeking, guided missile.
I think that may have been before my time.
Shotgun. It's kind of a Yankee thing, I think, more than it is a Southern thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but we love. I'm a transplant, and us Yankees out in the woods, we're no different than y'all down here.
Yeah, in case he hasn't mentioned it lately, Tracy's from New York.
Not the city. I lived out in the middle of the woods. I was raised in a suburb in Western New York near Buffalo. Yes, lots of snow. And that's why I live down here now. No snow, except for maybe once every 5 or 6 years. Oh, wow. An hour's a lot of time to fill.
So, Tracy, I got a question over here.
Okay.
Dano on Gun Channels has a Yugo M70 AB2 paperclip retainer question.
You want to put that in English? I'm not, I am the gunsmith, but I do not keep up on the makes and models. Once you get inside, they're all pretty much the same. Maybe you can repeat that for Daryl and he might be able to. Awkward silence while we get up to get a drink and trying to look and see what's going on. Yep, there you just heard that nice little psh.
So what's going on?
Dano over on Gun Channels has got a question about a Yugo M70 AB2 paperclip retainer.
Yeah, good. Now
I'm just trying to
now-
figure out if he's trying to be a troll or.
Yeah, I'm pretty
that's
sure
what
it
it
is.
sounds like to me.
Let me address this real quick, because actually I do have a semi answer for this question.
Oh, go for it.
We had some we had some folks come in looking for some parts for that gun. You remember that? It's been about 6 months ago. It was a particular part. He was looking for the a dust cover.
Okay, yeah, I remember that now.
Dog leg on.
Oh, I think I was in here that day.
Okay, there was literally one company building that, and that was it for the particular he wanted.
Yeah.
And I believe that one, a Grenadier, a sights on the front, and it was this big thing. Maceo's gun.
Okay. Yeah, we probably should, but that's his first name though. So
No, that's his code name.
oh,
But either way it goes, if I can direct you to Leapers because they have one,
there you go.
and they can roll through it. I'm not familiar with a paperclip retainer.
I wish I could say I've been in the business 20 years. I've been around guns a lot longer than that. You know, I wish I could say I knew every make, model gun out there and every part in every gun. Different companies call different parts different names. And if you want to know about every make and model of every gun, you'd have about a 12-inch high pile of books or higher.
Wait just a second. That's an AK.
Yeah.
Is G Webb's on there?
Yeah, that's
Is G Webb's answering
I wondered
him?
why G Webb's hadn't already answered him. I mean, as soon as he said it, I knew it was. I knew
The
it was
only-
AK, but
the only thing
why
that-
G Webb's hadn't already answered his question, because it seems like something that he would be more of an expert on, because that's fairly specific.
Indeed. Speaking of which, let's plug his little. Do we know when G Webb's is going to be doing?
I'm not sure, because I know that he, at one time he wasn't necessarily doing it every week. The AK Guru podcast.
That's a really
so,
good show.
Yeah, I don't know if he's doing it every week now, or if he's just doing it when he has something new to add on it or not.
I can't wait till he gets the info compiled, man. I just want to dig and dig and dig through it. What's this here? Is it just banter?
Something about what
No,
clip
was
or
trying to answer his question.
yeah. We gotta now. I'm a gun guy, and you gotta distinguish between clip and magazine. A clip just holds bullets.
Is that
Okay.
what this is about? A magazine?
A magazine has a spring in it and a follower.
No, this is,
a clip
this is
doesn't.
different thing. But,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he says the AK podcast is every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Central Time.
So it's coming up tonight then?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool beans. So anybody that may have that might be listening in through YouTube, or might be going through somebody, because I think we got this thing going through two or three.
We also
different
got it fed through our Facebook.
Facebook, yeah.
So, somebody may have clicked on one of the links. Like, I got a link directly to our gun channels, and then to our YouTube.
Let's see. Where we at on time?
We're about a half hour over, but
Are we about a half hour
Yeah.
over?
Yeah, it's almost 7:30.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and let's say this. If you are listening on YouTube, go ahead and go to www.gunchannels.com. And what they need to do there is they need to register. I believe there's a free registration.
Yeah, you can register free, and you don't even have to register to check stuff out, but you can register free, and you can join in a lobby chat. You can watch. There's pretty much something going on there all the time. There's always a show you can watch, even if you don't find a live show at that time. Almost everybody that has a show on there,
You can get a rebroadcast.
yeah, you can watch their last broadcast. You can watch it, and there's tons of information on there.
And not only that, you guys that are listening maybe on YouTube, I'm sure if you're listening to this, you've heard of Never Enough Ammo. I'm sure you've heard of Yankee Marshall.
They both have shows on there. There's also there's Hit or Miss that is coming up later this evening as well.
And then the AK Guru,
And AK Guru is also coming up later this evening, and
which I don't want to miss.
Oh yeah, it's always good.
Well, then we need to wrap this up, get home, get some food in us. And
Indeed. So I guess we can leave by saying today was Super Tuesday. If your state that you vote in hasn't voted yet, make sure to go ahead and go out and do that. If you did miss today, I can't stress enough to go out when it's go time later in the year.
Yeah.
Make sure if you miss today and you want to have a voice come November, a lot of places have cutoff dates for voter registration. Get out there, get yourself registered.
Mm-hmm.
So don't take it personal, Dano. I accuse everybody of trolling if I don't understand what they're talking about, because there are so many people who do love to troll.
And we make such a convenient target with what we like.
Yeah.
At least in these days.
By the way, if one of us just blurts something out, it's because our chat on gun channels just threw something up.
Yeah.
But what Tracy was saying there, you want to go and finish that, man? Because that was a good.
Get yourself registered. So come November, you can get out there and cast your vote and be part of the crowd to be heard.
Indeed.
Yep.
Yeah. If you don't vote, don't complain about what you get.
And that's it.
Exactly.
You got some last words?
Just go to gunchannels.com, check out all the stuff over there, and check out these guys at Andalusia Armory if you happen to be in town. And if you're not in town, check them out on YouTube and Facebook. And if you see something there that they have that you might like, give them a call and you see if you can't set up and
we will
do
ship
some deal with them.
Yeah, we will ship, and you can ship a gun to us. We'll fix it and ship it back.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and we'll give you an estimate before we fix it, so you can decide whether you just want us to ship it straight back or not.
There you go. Well, it looks like by the ashtray and the Coca-Cola cans that tonight was brought to you by Marlboro Blacks and Coca-Cola Red. We appreciate you guys listening. And I'm Daryl Qualls of Andalusia Armory.
Tracy Schmidt.
And Sean Carter. And you guys have a good one.
Good night, Gracie.
Lord have mercy.
There's